Every night before bed, Clara drank one simple cup of warm tea. No fancy labels, no expensive supplements, just a homemade mixture passed down from her grandmother. It smelled faintly of ginger and citrus, with a spicy undertone that lingered after each sip. To anyone else, it might have seemed like just another evening habit. But for Clara, it was the key to transforming her health from the inside out. 6 months earlier, Clara could barely climb a flight of stairs without feeling winded. Her hands were always cold, her feet numb even in summer, and her energy levels were embarrassingly low. She blamed stress. She blamed work. She even blamed age, though she was only 33. Doctors said her vitals were fine, blood pressure was normal, labs looked good, but Clara felt off. She would wake up in the mornings foggy and fatigued. By the time she showered and got dressed, her legs ached and her fingertips tingled. Sometimes, a dull pressure behind her eyes would pulse until late afternoon. She tried adjusting her diet, doing light yoga, drinking more water. Nothing helped. It wasn't until a weekend visit with her grandmother that things began to change. Her grandmother lived in a quiet town by the coast, where mornings began slowly, and everything moved with rhythm and purpose. On Clara's first night there, she complained of her usual symptoms: fatigue, cold limbs, mental sluggishness. Her grandmother didn't flinch. "You're not sick," she said, pouring a kettle of hot water. "Your blood isn't moving." Clara blinked. "What? You sit all day. You think too much. You breathe shallow. Your blood doesn't flow like it should. It's like a river with rocks stuck in it." Her grandmother stirred something into a mug: slices of fresh ginger, a pinch of cayenne, juice from half a lemon, and a generous spoonful of raw honey. She handed the mug to Clara. "Drink. Every night. Then give it time." Clara had nothing to lose. That night she sipped the tea in silence. The ginger hit first, spicy and warm, followed by the tang of lemon and the soft sweetness of honey. By the time she finished the cup, her chest felt lighter. Her fingers tingled, not from numbness, but from warmth. She slept deeply, dreamlessly, and woke up to something she hadn't felt in months: clarity. She returned home with a small jar of her grandmother's handwritten recipe. What started as a test turned into a ritual: 1 cup every night, without fail. Within a week, the cold in her limbs began to fade. Clara noticed it first when typing. Her hands didn't feel like frozen claws anymore. Then she noticed it in her legs. Walking up the subway stairs didn't leave her winded. Her skin even looked different: rosier, less pale. Curious, she started researching what she was drinking. Ginger, it turned out, was a natural vasodilator. It helped relax the muscles surrounding blood vessels, allowing more blood to flow. It was also anti-inflammatory, aiding in smoother circulation overall. Cayenne pepper, just a pinch, was packed with capsaicin, known to boost circulation and heart health. Lemon thinned the blood naturally and supported vascular health with its high vitamin C content. Honey served as a natural antioxidant and energy booster, helping the body absorb the benefits more effectively. Clara wasn't just drinking tea. She was feeding her bloodstream the very ingredients it needed to move freely and nourish her body. By the second month, coworkers began commenting on her appearance. "You look like you just got back from vacation," one said. "You're glowing," another remarked. Clara smiled, knowing it wasn't makeup or rest. It was blood flow. Her face had color now. Her lips were naturally pink again. Even her hair seemed fuller. But the biggest change wasn't physical. It was in her mind. With proper circulation came mental clarity. The brain, after all, relied heavily on blood flow for oxygen and nutrient delivery. Clara's focus improved. She could sit through long meetings and absorb information like a sponge. Her short-term memory sharpened. She stopped forgetting small things: names, passwords, grocery lists. That clarity inspired new habits. She started walking in the mornings, stretching more, hydrating better. Each improvement led to another. It was as if her body, once sluggish and silent, had come alive again. But the ritual never changed. 1 cup every night. She would slice the ginger thin, 5 or 6 coins, add a pinch of cayenne, squeeze half a lemon, stir in the honey, pour hot water and let it steep. She drank it slowly, mindfully. It wasn't just tea anymore. It was medicine. It was movement. It was blood in motion. Months passed. Clara's health transformed so quietly that most people didn't believe she had ever struggled. Her posture straightened. Her sleep deepened. Her hands and feet were always warm now, like the warmth had reached her core and stayed there. She went for a physical. The nurse taking her pulse raised an eyebrow. Excellent circulation, she said. Do you exercise regularly? Clara smiled. I do, but I also drink tea. There was one evening, months after she began the ritual, when Clara forgot her cup. A long workday, a phone call, and she'd fallen asleep early. The next morning, she felt slightly off. Not ill, but a little sluggish, like her edges weren't as sharp. That night, she didn't forget. As she sat by the window, cradling the mug in her hands, she thought about how the smallest things could change a life. One cup, one habit, one decision to do something every day, even when it felt silly or insignificant. Clara didn't need permission from a doctor or a prescription from a specialist. She just needed her grandmother's wisdom and a little consistency. Her body had always wanted to heal. It just needed the right flow.